Hey everybody, Miss Johnson here, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kae'z Chronicles. And today, you read in the description why I chose to move to Texas.
That country slang.
This here for Texas niggas only. All the way from KC to the H though. I done been around the world and it ain't nothing like a Texas nigga. Check me out, I met a nigga that was claiming the H, pulling tricks up out his bag like he was trying to persuade me. I told the nigga, damn, hold up, baby. Had to keep my eyes on him cause he moved real shady. I don't know what it is with you Texas niggas. Yo, the best you can get is a Texas nigga. Country slurring, he grossing about 8 figures. Baddest business, getting the money and the pull the trigger. Know the spots eating good, tearing down the menus. Pull up, double cup, bumping, chopped and screwed. Clean cut, smelling good, sliding down the panties. Took me by the house just so I can meet it. I don't even know why people have to ask. It's Texas, oh my gosh. No, but let me tell you what happened. So I came to Texas originally. Okay, what happened was when I lived in Kansas City, I had met a guy and he lived in Kansas City, but he was from Houston. And he was so cool. Like, he was cool. He was legit. Like, he was majorly legit. Like, he had the whip with the TV. He had the souped up whip and everything, y'all. He was straight Texas. He had the country slur. He worked. He was cool, you know. And I met him at this club on my birthday. And we just became really good friends. And he was like, you gotta come to Houston. You gotta come to the H. You don't know. He like, you don't know what you missing. I'm like, for real? And so he would always travel back and forth to Houston. You know, he would always travel back and forth. I never went with him, but when he would come back, he would bring me little stuff like postcards, keychains, t-shirts, and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my goodness, I really want to go there. And so one year, I link up with this one rat, and I'm like, let's go to Texas. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's just go, you know. So we end up getting a rental car. We hitch our way on up here, and as soon as I hit the border, I was like, I'm moving here. The energy, I'm still in the car. We haven't even made it. I haven't even made it to nowhere but the welcome to Houston sign. I was like, I have to live here. I'm moving here. And this was in 2015. So sure enough, we get here, I have the time of my life. I mean, I'm like, I love it. And so I ended up coming back the next year. Well, not the next year, probably like 2 years later, I ended up coming back. And I was like, I love it. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go back. Like, if my kids weren't there, if my children weren't there, I wouldn't go back. I would just leave everything. I would just stay here. Like, I love it here. You know what I mean? And this is just Houston. I hadn't even been to nowhere else. At this point, I had only been to Houston. And so the next, like 2017, I come to Houston like 4 times. I'm like, it's official. I'm moving down there. So what I did was I started coming. First time I came with my cousin. And then like the next 3 times I came by myself. And I'm like up here looking for houses, like checking out the economy, like as far as for cosmetology instruction, what I'm supposed to do. You know, I'm just maneuvering. I'm like, I'm leaving. But at this time, my dad is sick. And so I'm like, I can't go nowhere. I can't be that far away from my daddy at this time. You know, I'm like, I'm not leaving. I'm not going nowhere yet. I'll just visit until whatever. So my dad ends up passing away on June 20th, 2017. Yeah, he ends up passing away. And so I'm like, I need to move to Texas. It's time to go. I'm about to go to Texas. But I end up buying his house. And I end up going through all of these rigmaroles with the house. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get to Texas? Like, everybody knew that I was moving to Texas. That's what I would tell everybody. Like, I'm moving to Texas. That was it. Like, there was no, people be like, why you going there? I'm like, why not? So everybody's like, why you moving there? I'm like, I'm going. And people, you've been saying that for years, because that was the talk. Period. That was my conversation. I'm moving to Texas. Everybody know that's what I was talking about. And so anyway, like one day I'm riding. I got my son in the car. I end up going through all of these chain of events. I done purchased this house that I can't live in. So I'm like paying double. I'm paying for this utilities here. I'm paying for utilities here. I mean, everything is a rigmarole. So I got this house, can't live in it, basically homeless. I'm doing roommates and this ain't working. Like, everything is crazy. So I'm like, this house is a burden, because here it is. It's 2019 at this point. I've had the house for 2 years. I've completely gutted the house, and I'll have videos of this. I have everything so that you guys can see the process. But I went through this whole process, people taking my money, contractors running off, not coming, people breaking in, people stealing. It was just reckless. So the same individual I had ended up linking up with when I first came to Texas, we ended up linking back up because we had fell out, which made more sense. But everything happens for a reason. Anyway, I'm like, I'm selling this house. I got to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And she like, I got to get out of here too. Da, 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 da. Anyway, I ended up selling the house. I'm like, I don't care if I ain't got nowhere to stay. I'm going to Texas. Here we go. I'm out of here. I'm not staying in Kansas City no more. Just get me to Texas. Get me to Texas, all right. Baby. Pulled up on Texas, like, pulled up on Houston, like, what they do? No, but okay, so these are the key tips that I will give you when relocating to another state. Come along. You don't need nobody. You don't need to move, especially if you have enough money to hold your own lifestyle. You don't need nobody. Now, if this person is coming with you just to hitch a ride, and when y'all get to when you get to your destination, you splitting up, perfect. But rule number one, come along. You don't need nobody. You need God. You need the universe. You need your ancestors. You need your divine intuition. That's it. You don't need nobody. Come by yourself. You understand? That's extra weight. Because they don't get their funds. They might not come through. You paying for everything. Yeah, that's what happened. I'm paying for everything. And it's just it wasn't the plan. You see what I'm saying? Another thing to that is, when you get blessed, your blessing is not nobody else's. See, I'm an empath. That's what I learned about myself throughout this process here. That I'm an empath, and what they attract are narcissists. Narcissists are users. They know how to play the role just enough to get what they need, and then it's pretty much a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Friends can be narcissists too. Because what I've noticed through my research is that people are always talking about narcissists' intimate relationships. No. A lot of people have narcissist friendships, where narcissist comes with jealousy. It comes with envy. It comes with sabotage. It comes with backstabbing. It comes with no accountability. Like, a narcissist friend is about as worse as a narcissist boyfriend. Toxic. You understand? Toxic. Jealous the whole time. You don't need that in your life. Especially if you knowing where you're going, and you knowing what you want to do, and you knowing how you want to do it. Stick to the plan. If you got a plan, stick to it. Come by yourself. Don't bring nobody. That's the whole point of you moving, to leave everybody where they was. Rule number one. Rule number two. If you coming to Texas, you better be solid on what you want to do. You need to know that there is so many options out here. And I'm not just talking about men. I'm talking about activities, places to go, things to eat. You need to know, am I working out? Am I vegan? Do I like him? Or do I like him? This is what my thing is. When I came here, I'm knowing cosmetology instruction, KincaidBeauty.com. Boom. When I got here, I was in a hotel. So I'm in a hotel working on my website. Before I left Kansas City, I was working on my website. There was my whole focus and my whole vision, I'm coming to get the bag, okay? I'm coming to dwell and live in all the prosperity that Houston has to offer me with its great and wonderful economy, okay? Period. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I know how to get the bag and I'm in the right place. I'm talking about the energy here. The energy is amazing. Now, true enough, you run into people who kind of don't like their job, but when you on a high vibration, I'm like every morning I wake up here, it couldn't be any better. I couldn't ask for anything more. I just feel so concrete in my decision. I feel like, yes, I made the right decision. I just feel like I belong here, you know? I love it. And so I had watched some videos, like before I had came, I had watched a couple videos and people had relocated to Houston and they were saying like, there were a lot of Nigerians here and that the Nigerians have bad attitudes and they this and that, all of this negativity, right? Every Nigerian that I've met have been amazing. Like I haven't had one salty situation with a Nigerian. I'm like, they the best kind of people. Like, what are you talking about? Now, some of the Nigerians talk about the other Nigerians and they say that these set of Nigerians is undercutting scandalous and they do all kind of scams. And then this set of Nigerians say, you know, like, there are a lot of professional and elite positions. They are in high positions, like high ranking positions. They're doctors, they're lawyers, they're accountants, they're scientists. They do all kind of amazing things. So I guess it's all about who you attract, okay? I haven't per se attracted any of these Nigerians that the girl spoke about in her video. None, period. Whether it was a woman or a male, it's so diverse here. It's so diverse. The third thing that I love is the men, of course. Yeah, I said the men. There's so many to choose from. It's just, I don't know which one to choose, okay? What you gotta understand is where I came from, Kansas City. To every one male, it's like 25 women because they stay killing each other or they going to prison. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to, and then it's not diverse. Like it's either him or him. Like which one? He's a drug addict, he's a dope dealer, he's on his way to prison and he might like boys. I don't know which one to choose. Yeah, I'd rather just be by myself, okay? But when you get here, baby, let me tell you something. The possibilities are endless. Endless. Do you understand? Like you have to have discipline here. If you don't have self-control and if you don't have discipline and if you don't know thyself, if you don't know your weaknesses, see, this is the thing. So when I first got here, I was like getting on different dating sites like Tinder, and then it was another one like called Badu or whatever. And so when I would set up my little dates or whatever, and I was working on my website, it would be like, I would be like, I'm not going nowhere until I've completed this sector of my business, whether I'm working on a wig or whether I'm working on my website, whether I was mixing up K butter, whether I was doing whatever I was doing. That's just that. I wasn't moving, period. I'm like, my mind is on this first. And then after I get this done, I can go celebrate. And it would be so worth the while, okay? And then Fourthly, another thing that I like about Texas is that it's like you either up or you down. Like it's not hard to identify, because some of the people here, or some of the men here, are very superficial. And anybody knows that a person who's like superficial, as far as always trying to floss, always trying to show out what they got. Anybody who, I mean, if you got common sense, you know that the person who's trying to do the most is like really don't have it. You know what I mean? So it's all about feeling people's energy and feeling people's aura and knowing what you dealing with, you know? But ever since I've been here, it's been great. I mean, you know, as far as my perspective of Texas, you know, I've had some situations transpire, and that's a whole nother YouTube video that I'll get you guys up on. But Texas is a great place to be. And so another thing, okay, so people be asking me like, do the police bother you? Police don't pay you no attention. Anytime I've engaged in some activities with a police officer, he was cool. He was like, y'all need some help? Y'all doing all right? One thing about it, when the police in Texas show up, they came to work. Somebody's going to jail. Don't play with them. They didn't pull up to tell you that they didn't want to do no paperwork like in Kansas City. In Texas, they pull up, they finna solve the problem. But I have not had any issues like pulling people over like they do that in Kansas City. They just pull people over all the time, giving out tickets, especially around income tax time, just bothering folks. Like, they don't do that here. Like, I haven't seen, I guess that's just not where my mind is at, you know? Beautiful neighborhoods, beautiful areas. Like, you can get in one area, you be like, oh, this is really nice. You get over in another area, you like, God damn, for real? It's great. I wouldn't trade it for the world. You hear me? Like, I love me some Texas, and I love me some Texas, okay? And I'm not leaving, and if my next is out of the country, but that's a whole nother story within itself. But I love Texas. I love the diversity. I love the opportunity. I love the energy. Let me see. They talk about the traffic. You got to think about the population. You know what I'm saying? Think about how many people are in your area. And it's not all, the traffic is on the weekend, baby. They make money throughout the week. People is going to work. Everything's shut down early. When the weekend hit, yeah, it's going to be some traffic. That's even in the daytime. And especially, see, what happened is, and I feel like I still haven't even experienced it to the fullest of the fullest, because I know how it can go down. But COVID got a clinch on everything. But the traffic is to be expected, but it's not all the time, and it's not everywhere, and it's not like people act like, oh, I'm like, Kansas City is 45 minutes east, 45 minutes west, 10 minutes east, and 10 minutes north, 10 minutes south. It ain't big as nothing. You get in a traffic jam there, people going crazy. Honey, I'll be just patient. You have you some good music playing. I'll be sightseeing. I'll be looking at all the little cars, honey. I'll be chilling. Like, I don't really hit traffic like that. It's not that major. I can't say like I've been in a traffic jam so bad that I was just like, oh my God, I hate it here. The traffic is horrible. I haven't been in one of those situations, so I can't say like traffic is bad. I mean, it is what it is for where I am in the population, and you know, so that'll be it. That'll be it. Like, I love the spots. The mentality of the men here is so different. It's so different. It's not the same as the men in Kansas City. Like, men in Kansas City, they only want to live off of a woman. They only want to take. They only want to gain. Here, it's like they're so helpful. They want to help you. Like, not even just money. I'm not even talking about money, but like, you need a tire fixed, or you need to get your kids some food, or like, it's just like they come from different kind of angles. You be like, what? You want me to, what? You gonna give me the ow? Really? Thanks. Like, with nothing to be expected from it. Nothing. Like, they got good upbringings. Like, some of them in here have amazing upbringings, and I love Texas, y'all. And they like, when you come into Kansas City, I'm like, what I need to come there for? I don't have any desire. What am What am I coming to Kansas for again? I don't want to. I'm very, this, what I would say is, like, if you were contemplating moving to a place, like, because the connection that I felt to Texas, it was like I was here in my past life or something. Seriously, like, the connection that I felt to Texas when I first hit, like, if there's a place that you desire to go and it's like in you, it's like deep, it's like that's just like, you just know that's where you need to be, you know that's where your life is going to change, you know, because in order for you to reach higher self, in order for you to expand and elevate, you have to change your environment. And it's stepping out into the unknown. Like, I didn't know what was gonna happen when I moved to Texas, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how it was going to play out, but I knew that's where I needed to be, and I trusted it. And it was 3 years. It took me 3 years to get here, y'all. I didn't just wake up and be like, oh, well, I guess it's time to go. Like, it was a struggle. When it was time for me to leave Kansas City, it was so many demons trying to pull me, trying to keep me in it. I had to break through that paradigm. It was a whole kind of paradigm I had to shift. And when I broke through it, it was like, you could just feel it. Like, I got chills, like, seriously, like, I got goosebumps on me right now, y'all, because it was for real. Like, I knew when I got here, it was the place I needed to be. So if you feel like you need to go and you feeling it just calling your name, and you like, that's all you telling people about, and you just manifesting, and you just do it by yourself. God will make a way. Like, don't worry about it. Like, if it's you and your kids, baby, you and your kids, that's all you need. You don't need nobody else. Nobody else. So, thank you guys for listening again. This has been another episode of Kae'z Chronicles. And as always, be bold, be beautiful, be you. Till next time.
Jamaican nigga had to drive him from Dallas. Throw the cookie in his mouth when he start acting all childish. I only deal cause he bought me a palace. Roll joint, smoke big, send the roster was stylish. I don't know what it is about you Texas niggas. Hey, the best you can get is a Texas nigga. Candy paint on the Buick and he turning spinners. I don't know which one to choose, I'm trying to match a tender. My shy nigga, yeah, he live on the west. Say he move real smooth and he be counting